Welcome everyone to Evony Throne Time with Veery once again. I appreciate everyone taking a peek at all my videos, and I'd like to give a warm welcome to all of those that have commented on each of the videos. Hopefully I've responded to most of you. I am still working through some of those, but I appreciate every comment, advice, feedback, and tips, and even questions that you guys have concerning your own keeps and servers and things like that. Always welcome those ideas. I'd also like to apologize for some of the lag that you see in my last couple of videos. Since I've been taking the PC video, I see that there's some lag between my voice and the timing of my screen. So I've ordered in 32 megabytes of RAM to install in this particular CPU. Hopefully that will make a difference. If not, I will look at some video card stuff. Again, I'm not the most technologically advanced when it comes to the video. Again, I'm in my 50s and just haven't followed the trend for the past 20 years. So nonetheless, I appreciate your patience and we'll get that done for you. So today's topic will be setting some presets during the week that you don't participate in KE or SVS. We all call it NAP. And during the NAP period, there's a couple of things that you'll want to do to better equip yourself for gathering more resources and following or joining rallies to gain the most rewards. I will also show you how I use a couple of the buffs in order to capitalize on those larger bosses. It's something that I've been doing for quite some time. Many others do that as well, but I just want to give my perception on that, and you guys can make your own choices from there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the map. I want to see kind of what's going on, how many people are online, and here we go. We've got some lag, but nonetheless, we're going to take a peek to see what is going on with my alliance. We have got some green lines, people joining rallies and doing such. First thing I want to do is look for a large monster, and typically most of our members share it within our alliance chat. And I know there are some up here. There's a 14, so my level, I'm typically killing the 13s, the senior Bayard 2s, and the 14s. So I'm going to take a peek at this Fafnir. It looks like somebody's already completed it from our side. I missed that rally. Shame on me. Let's go for the 14 then. So here it is, and typically I'll look at the world map to see how far it is away from our alliance. If it's 300, 400, 500 kilometers away, I'm really not interested because it ties up my main march. And a lot of times with the senior ones, I'm sending T14 horse. So with the senior ones, the B12s, I like to utilize a couple of marches for those. And by going after the B14s or the B15s in the seniors, Bayers, that's a one march for me, which requires 2.3 million troops. This one's fairly close. It's close to a couple of other hives. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to maximize my march. I know that I will take wounded on this no matter what by maximizing it or not, but I want the least amount of wounded. So in this case, I'm going to choose actually all 4 buffs. I want to use all of these to reduce the amount of troops that get hurt. So I'm going to increase this, and I always use my 200% for 1 hour. I maximize how many bosses I can kill by utilizing that. All troops attack, I definitely want to use my 1 hour 20% increase. All troops HP, I want to use my 1 hour for that. And then I also want to use my defense. Now, if you guys have some tips or things for me regarding this subject, let me know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong as well. But this is the way I've always done it, and I've noticed pretty good results with the size of bosses that I kill. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go back and find that B14, and we're going to start a rally. We'll do that for 5 minutes. I'll choose my number 1 boss, which is Roland, General. He has 2.3 million troops that he's sending, and I'm only sending my T14s. If you send a combination of T14s, T13s, T12s, any combination of those, typically you'll see wounded. It doesn't matter what level you are. You could be, a K30 or a K31 too, whatever, using T12s. And if you mix troops, typically you're going to find wounded. So I always recommend using your top horse as long as you have enough of those. And we'll set that march. So while we're waiting for this march to happen, let's go in to our keep and let's figure out what we can do to maximize the rewards by making presets for each of the spots that you normally don't use outside of KE. I'm going to go into March preset. And again, I apologize for the lag here. I know I have spot number 2 already selected. I will get to him in just a moment. It will be the same as March 3 and March 4. So right now, this is kind of set up, as you can see here, I've got March 5 and March 3 set up for PvP. March 5, in my video yesterday, I gave you what I use for my main Archer PvP March preset. I will never change this because it is a little time consuming going through each and every one. But for me personally, I find that leaving this one saves me a lot of time. I'm really only going to use these 3 for following or joining a rally during non-KE or SVS times. So with that said, I have Scipio lined up here. I'm going to change him. Now I have 3 Babers, and I'm going to select the Baber General for each of these because he does give double drops. And I have 2 right in line. I know this guy has already selected in spot 2, so I'm going to use my second one in spot 3. Next, I will not use subordinate cities. I'm going to come down here and reset. And all I want to do for this is put 1 level 1 horse. That's all I need because I'll never be using this preset for leading a rally. I just put 1 troop and I save that preset. Now I believe number 4 is already done this way. I see 1 troop already, and it is for the mounted horse. And we'll confirm that it is Babers. And it is. So he's already set there as well. And I believe number 2 spot should be the same. Yes. So you do want to confirm how many troops. It is 1 here. I won't scroll down because I know he already has 1 level 1 horse. So now that those are done, at any time I want to join a rally, over here you'll see a number typically. I'm the only one running a rally right now. Seems to be a dead part of the day. There we go. We have another rally. So now we can quickly join by selecting and marching. Simple as that. Now, a lot of times we'll have, 4, 5, 6, 7 rallies running, and I want to quickly get in there. I want to send all of my Babers in there to get the rewards. It's really important. You also want to check these little alliance gifts. Someone purchased a package, and you want to capitalize on those within 24 hours of of that happening. Alliance help. I always hit the help all. Let's get everyone the strength they need to heal those. Science, I won't go into that right now. So the next thing I do, once KE or SVS has ended, is I always go to my wall. And I want to change my defensive general from a defense general who has power, which typically is my Yi Sun Sin, and I want to change it to Shahar. Now I've already done that, I believe. And we'll just look. Okay, there she is. The reason I choose Shahar is because the huge buff increases the resource production speed in the main city by 100% and the food protected from troop upkeep by 200%. What does that mean, troop upkeep? Well, troop upkeep means the troops, all the troops you have, and I have, I think, 32 million troops, are all going to consume food, which takes away from your total. It's nonstop. So if you're not producing enough food, you'll find yourself in a negative situation eventually. Now, right now I have 54.9. Over the course of an hour or so, you're going to see this drop down. It takes a little while, but your resources, here I have some farms, and I have quite a few farms. These are producing X amount. You can see here, they're just ticking up. And those resources, once you've claimed them, will go into the main kitty here at the top. Now, it wasn't enough to really, oh, there we go. Now it shows. Quite the lag today. But you'll see over time that this will diminish, okay? And with your Shahar, that allows, by putting her on the wall, it gives you an advantage so your troops aren't consuming as much as they normally would. So it's important to remember to put Shahar on the wall, not only for resource production speed, but also for the consuming side of your troops. Now it looks like we have finished the rally that I started, and I will go to the reports. And I typically always go to the reports and see, especially on the B14s and B15s, I want to see what I get, but then I also want to see how many get wounded. Okay, is it worth getting wounded this much for the rewards? Sometimes it's not, but it does give you general experience. It gives you monarch experience. The prestige is important because you're building your VIP level for that. It gives you alliance points and honor. But the bigger one for the large players in your alliance is you're helping the entire alliance. Now, I could ask for somebody else's report that joined the rally, and normally they have a lot more rewards than I do as the leader. I'm not sure why that is. Since I'm taking all the wounded, why don't I get rewarded more? But that's the way Evony has the game set up. So nothing I can do to change that, so I won't worry about it. But I'll continue to hit these large monsters as long as I have the resources and the speed ups to heal my troops. It's just more of a favor and a gratitude thing towards my alliance that I could provide, the rewards for everyone. So I did a Senior Bayer 2 here, and yeah, I love the resource chests. Those are what I go after, including, I didn't get any this time, but refining stones, very important for your gear. But as you can see here, I have 0 wounded. The reason I have 0 wounded is because I used my large buffs, the march size and the all troops. Okay, so I will heal these up real quick. Don't really need to. I have plenty of T14 horses, but typically I'll clear this out right away and just use my speed ups. But in this training purpose, most people allow the help. If you go into help here, you'll see you want as many people helping you to reduce the time before you actually say, hey, yay or nay, I'm going to speed up these these troops to get healed. As you can see, Tiagi, he helped me, and there'll be several others, you know, over the course of some time. So now the important thing with putting those buffs on, for me at least, and for you too, if you can kill, let's say, a Senior 1 Bayard, and you have enough troops that you don't really need the buffs for one of them, but for two of them, maybe you don't have enough troops, but you have just enough troops for a second march, but you need the buffs on there in order to help you kill it without any wounded. That's where the buffs come in and are very important. There's times that, you know, like for me, you know, I do a B-15. I cannot kill a B-15 without those buffs on there. So I'll place the buffs, and I've maximized every possible research gear item that I can at this point. To a few weeks ago, I would get about 32,000 injured, but now that I've increased my research, I put those buffs on, all 4 of them. Now I've gotten that number down to 20,000 wounded, and I'm okay with that. I'll do more of those B-15s because there are people that either haven't gotten the first time rewards for that, or just getting the rewards, period. So I would suggest kind of following that game plan with your buffs and utilizing your marches properly. Once again, if we go into our rally spot, that's where you can set your presets for each of the marches. And this will just be a quick recap of what I do. My number 1 spot is always my main boss killer. I never change him unless I increase, you know, maybe my research and I maximize my march size. There are several ways to do that. But I won't change him. He always stays the same, and I don't delete this out. Number 5 is the same way. Number 5 is my main PvP march for ranged troops. I never change him unless I have, you know, something that I've changed in my research or gear or something else that I need to adjust for. Or in the troop type, if I'm trying to fine-tune my march so I don't receive as many injured or killed. But for these 3 here, I always change them based off the time of week, whether it is nap time or PvP time. Okay, well, that about does it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Most of you may find this repetitious, and I hope some of you find it useful. Whatever the case, send me some feedback on what you do and anything you'd like to be, you know, sharing any information on the channel. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And until next time, live life first, play Evony second, and I'll see you on the battlefield.